investigative reporting is being sort of squeezed out of the picture, and I think intentionally, because it tends to ruffle feathers. I mean, good investigative reporting does ruffle feathers.
Sergeant?
No, Secret Service.
Secret Service? How do you want your title?
OST.
OST, thank you.
And I would confirm that this material is thermitic, and it shouldn't be there.
Let's go, people! People with the cameras, I can get a better view from a distance with this.
Right after we published the stories, the support we got from the media was very favorable. Newsweek magazine did a big piece on the story and said it was well documented and well researched.
Absolutely. Taking a couple of companies that they were leaving back to us.
More explosions. Huge explosions.
Around in 2006, Steve Jones was working on some other evidence that he had acquired, which was dust evidence. To be honest, when Steve told me he was looking through the dust, through these dust samples, I thought this was a fool's errand. I just thought, you know, this is a needle in a haystack. I didn't really think that they'd find anything significant, to be honest. I really didn't. Eventually, Steve came to me and said, we're finding these red-gray chips. And I really didn't think anything of it. It could have been, they could have been anything. So he came to me and said, we're getting some interesting compositional analysis from the red layer of these red-gray chips. We're actually seeing peaks of aluminum, as well as other things. But the aluminum peak was significant because so he'd find these aluminum peaks, and as well as iron peaks and oxygen peaks and various other peaks. But the aluminum and the iron and the oxygen together were very significant because this is your composition for thermite. We were finding very narrow peaks and very high peaks in the calorimeter, which showed that this very, very small chip had a lot of energy packed into it, more than you would find in everyday materials at the office. So, and certainly the number of chips that they were finding in these random dust samples made the fact that the fact that they were present there in such quantity also made them significant. So it wasn't an anomaly. It certainly wasn't an anomaly because we were getting multiple dust samples from multiple individuals who had no connection with each other, had no connection to Steve or myself, and they're sending us these dust samples, and every one of the dust samples was showing red-gray chips.
Stay on that. On the last one.
The government reaction was no reaction. And this, I believe, was a very careful strategy because nobody was going to believe the government if they came out and said we didn't do it. The proof was fairly overwhelming since we had all these government documents showing that it had happened. So what happened was they let the so-called liberal press speak for them. And they had the national security reporters at the Washington Post, who coincidentally used to work for the CIA, write stories saying it doesn't mean anything.
He was in the lobby and the third explosion, the whole lobby collapsed on us.
What you told me is that there was a plane or whatever hit the building, then a secondary explosion.
It was like 3 explosions after that. We came in after the fire. We came when the fire was going on already.
You see that blowout?
This 8-ton steel I-beam is 6 inches thick. It was selected to be preserved for future generations for the near-perfect horseshoe-like bend formed during the collapse.